Hey friends, thanks for taking the time to be part of this journey in creating mental health awareness around Niagara and the Brock campus. The IAmNotDefined campaign you're supporting will have a focus on eating disorders and a potential primary prevention method known as self-compassion. According to the Mental Health Commission of Canada, eating disorders are the third most chronic illness in adolescent girls. Further, 1.5% of young females aged 15 to 24 report that they have an eating disorder, with the average age onset being 17. Don't think men and boys are exempt from this category, because 5 to 15% of men and boys have anorexia and bulimia nervosa, and 40% of binge eating disorders are found in boys and men. It's important to realize that eating disorders encompass bigger and more complex situations than just food and weight. Individuals with eating disorders commonly tend to use their body to measure their self-worth or use food to try to cope with problems and regain a sense of control. Because of the link to external appearances, eating disorders can also cause individuals to question their identity, sense of self-worth, and self-esteem. According to the CMHA, the three most prevalent eating disorders amongst individuals are anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating disorder. Anorexia nervosa is characterized by restricting food and sometimes increasing exercise. Remember that mental illnesses normally have physical effects as well. Bulimia nervosa is characterized by behavior of binge eating, following by purging. Purging behavior includes vomiting, using laxatives, excessive exercise, fasting, or even dieting. The last eating disorder we'll talk about today is binge eating disorder, which is characterized by binge eating and thoughts of being out of control, feeling distressed, depressed, guilty after eating, and being secretive about binging behavior. So here's the question you've been waiting for. What can you do to support someone who is diagnosed with an eating disorder or someone you're concerned about? Let's start with what we're not going to do. We're not going to self-diagnose, diagnose others, or give advice. Let's let the professionals handle that part. Along with that, we're not going to label the problem. The language we use can have a large impact, and using labels can be very dangerous. Try to stray away from comments which criticize the individual and their appearance. So what we will do is assess risk of harm or suicide. If there is high risk for suicide or immediate self-harm, please call 911 or campus security. If there is no immediate harm, we're going to listen non-judgmentally, express our concern using I statements, and refer the individuals to resources. You can even support the person by offering to accompany them to these resources if needed. I'll give you a few moments to take a quick peek at resources at Brock and around the community who are available to support yourself or an individual in crisis with any mental health problem. Common themes found throughout the literature have revealed that people who are highly self-critical, are perfectionists, have difficulties dealing with stress, have other mental illnesses, and are athletes are at an increased risk for eating disorders. To combat these attributes, recent studies are exploring the use of self-compassion. Self-compassion is defined as a state of self-kindness where one is mindful and identifies their feelings as well as understands their suffering as part of a common human experience. So I challenge you to try it. Number 1, create an image in your mind that represents compassion. You showing compassion to others, someone showing compassion to yourself, or another individual may be a non-human representation that will trigger a compassionate reminder. Number 2, speak to yourself kindly and reduce critical judgment to yourself and others. Number 3, put yourself in a broader context. Remember that your identity is not only composed of external features and accomplishments. Thank you for coming along on this journey to provide mental health and eating disorder awareness in the Brock and Niagara community while providing support for not only your loved ones, but showing that you're supporting thousands of others who are struggling across our community and worldwide. Please continue to follow this journey on social media and support the campaign #IAmNotDefined.